Hi. Let's play Among Us. No, I'm not even kidding. Nah, bro, I'm not even joking, bro. Bro, I haven't played Among Us in so long, bro. I haven't played Among Us in so long. Hold on. I have to do something real quick. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tire Leaky. This is gonna be my Among Us friend code. Crazy. I'm usually him. With the I bet. Let's play Among Us online. Actually, let's practice first. So I can see what I've been missing. Oh, are you serious? Hold on. I'm about to watch this thing real quick. No. Crazy. Alright, enough. Let's just play Among Us, because I was trying to play Among Us, but ain't nobody. Boy, I cannot believe I'm playing Among Us after so long, bro. I remember all of the FGTV videos with Among Us, bro. And all the, I grew up with FGTV, so. I'm gonna find a game, bro. Skill. Oh, sweet. My name should not be, I gotta leave. Cause that should not be my username. My account. Okay, manage account. Change name. There we go. Okay, let's go back to that again. Polish, for real? Alright, bro. Guys, I haven't played Among Us in years. Bro, I promise you, if I'm the imposter, I'm gonna crash out. Okay, I'm a crewmate. Alright, I'm a crewmate. Alright, bet. Alright, say less. I'm gonna go to electrical. I don't have anything in communications. I do have weapons. Clear asteroids. I remember this. What is this? I'm not clicking the button yet because it's not office. I don't have anything in office. What? Oh, shoot! I was in weapons. I'm doing asteroids. Oh, they're gonna use that one. I guess we vote white. Dang! Rage bait. Dang! How did we know? Alright, what do I need to do now? You following me, bro. You're No. You're following me a little bit too sus. No! You're being sus! Bruh. Brown. Brown! Nope, I'm telling no, Brown. I'm flipping telling on Brown. I'm telling on Brown, bro. I'm telling on Brown, bro. Brown is a bit sus. Kept following me. It's not me. It's not me. Trust. I don't trust Brown. I'm a crewmate. I can't lie, bro. You know what? I think I want to vote for him, bro. It's not me, but still, bro. Ison. It wasn't me! It was not me! What are you talking about? It was not me! It wasn't me! It wasn't me! Y'all are stupid! It was not me! Y'all are dumb! Y'all dumb, bro. Y'all are dumb. Oh my god. No, bruh. I told them it wasn't me. They don't listen. I'm Nyx. In the same round of you. Who's an imposter? Nyx. Oh, that's you! Hold on, I'm gonna put my chat in. My, thing. It's not, it wasn't me because I literally, oh my gosh. G. It was not me. Bro, I'm about to crash out. Like, seriously. And I can't vote no more. Y'all just voted me out for no reason. Like, I wasn't even the imposter. Y'all was bugging, bro. It's either Brown or... See, now y'all skip. Now the imposter gonna come back. I played Among Us when it first came out. When it was peaking 2024. Not 2024, 2020. I played it ever since. I'm gonna protect you though. I'm gonna protect you though. Sis, I'm gonna protect you. I'm protecting you right now. I'm protecting you right now. You're protected. No dead bodies found. What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? What? There's no... I told y'all! Oh my god, Brown is it. I'm about to crash out, bro. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I think it's Brown. I think it's Brown. It's Brown. It has to be Brown. He kept following me. Brown kept following me. And then, like, oh my gosh. Okay, it's Brown. It's Brown. It's Brown. It's Brown. If it's not Brown, I'm crashing out, bro. It has to be Brown. Come on, please. Yes! Please! Please let it be brown. No! Bro, oh my god! Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. Oh my god. I'm gonna go protect you, I'm gonna go protect you. Hold on, hold on. I'm so sorry, bro. Oh my god. Bro, I thought it was... bro kept following me. No! I've not played Among Us in years. I just came back, bro. Clad. It's Clad. If it's... Because Clad tried voting me off, probably knowing that I wasn't the imposter. So if it wasn't Brown, then it has to be Clad. There's no way. It has to be Clad. Clad. No, it's Kitty, 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 it's Kitty. It's not Clyde, it's Kitty, it's Kitty, it's Kitty, it's Kitty, it's Kitty. It's Kitty, it's Kitty, it's Kitty, it's Kitty, it's Kitty. See, now how do you vote in other people? It's Kitty, it's Kitty, it's Kitty, it's Kitty, it's Kitty. Yes, yes, yes. It's not him! Oh my gosh! It's not him, bro! Kitty, please vote Kitty, bro. Vote Kitty, bro. If you do not vote Kitty, I'm about to crash out, bro. Vote! Kitty, 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 Kitty. Come on, come on, please. Yes! Let's go! Oh my gosh, let's freaking go. Yes! Let's freaking go. Someone told me, one of the dead people told me that in chat. I think what I'm gonna do is, if you're watching, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to follow this Twitch channel. Follow this channel and then subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're doing polls again. Please tell me I'm not an imposter, bro. I want to be a crewmate. I want to be another crewmate. Crewmate! Yes! Yes, yes, yes! I'm a scientist! Okay. So I get to check and see if people is dead or not. Do I have anything in electrical? Yes, I do. So where's my electrical task? Okay, hold on. Bet. We could go down to my next task. Let's go. I bet. What am I supposed to do? Okay, good. Okay, vitals are good. Everyone's vitals are good. I'm scared, bro. It's red. 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 Thank you. Let's go. It's red, please. It's red. 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 No, you did not. You killed me, bro. You killed me, and then you reported the other body that you killed, bro. It's not me. It's not brown. It's not brown. It's not brown. It's not brown. It's red. It's red. It's red. It's red. It's red. It's not brown. It's red. Wait, what? It's red, bro. It's red. It's red. It's red. Come on, bro. Please, it's red. Y'all have to vote red. Come on. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Get my get back. Get my get back. Get my get back. Hold on, where are you at? I'm gonna go over here. Come here. Oh, so I can only be a guardian angel or okay. That's his regular outfit, so don't tell me it's him, bro. No, you can't go off the map anymore. He used to let you go off the map, but now you can't. I'm still doing my task though. It's black. 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 Yo, if you're still watching, it's black. If you're still watching, it's black. Wait, it's black? Actually. Oh, no. Shark bait. My bad. Not black, shark bait. Shark bait, not black. Sorry, my bad. It's gray, not black. Sorry. Oh! Yes. Yes, get him. I was with him. I was with Kitty when we were doing the task, and I literally was. Oh my god. Do it, 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 do it. Hey, we won! We won, bro. Let's go. Yo. Yo, Alpha, what's good? Alright, bro. Ha. Please don't be an imposter, bro. Crewmate, 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 crewmate. Yes! Yay! Let's freaking go. Alright, let's go. Go, 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 go. Alright, what task do I need to do? I need to do laboratory and weapons. Okay, weapons is right here. Right? No, this ain't weapons. Where is oh, here it is. Weapons. And then left. Bro, it's... Wait, is that you? Nah! It's him, bro! Bro, why? Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh. Vote for Black, please. Why would you kill me though? What did I do? What did I do? They all gonna vote for you, bruh. They're all gonna vote for you. They're all gonna vote for you, bro. D. Shut. Hey! You guys! Get your freak. He's gone, bro. Alright, let's find another one. I'm going to find him myself, and then I will tell who it is. Lol. Okay, stop haunting people. Oh, I need to do the temperature. Wait, is he still here? Oh, he's still there, okay. Oh my god. Nah, you good, cuz. Nah, you good. But remember, when I'm the imposter, I'm gonna run that fade back on you. When I'm the imposter, I'm gonna run that fade back on you. Then I'm gonna leave and ditch. Ain't no sorry, bruh. I'm gonna run that fade. I'm gonna run that fade. I believe these two. I believe these two. I believe Scratch Ben. However, these two. I was on my last tab. Lion! It's Alpha! I am sorry. Nah, when I run that fade, when I get the imposter and I run that fade, you better be ready. Cause when I run that fade, I run that fade. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be the first person gone, banned from the earth, or wherever this place is. Polis, banned from Polis. Y'all is dumb, bro. Good, bro. As long as you... Alright, you know what? I will spare you if I see that you have followed... followed me on Twitch and that you subscribed. So I'm about to go check. I have 19 followers. If I have 20 followers on Twitch, that's your first one. Alright, you follow. That's 20. Alright, that's the first one. Second one, I'm gonna see if you followed me on you subscribe to me on YouTube. If you subscribe to me on YouTube, then I'm not gonna run my fade. If I see 202, I ain't gonna run my fade. If I don't see 202, there's a fade to be ran. There's a fade to be ran! I did not see the 2 subs, so I'm sorry, but the next time... Oh my god. The next time that when I get imposter, I'm gonna run that fade and then I'm leaving. Actually, I didn't even check the list. Hold on, because there's a list I can check. I don't see you in here. Boy, you definitely run. I'm definitely running that fade. Y'all, don't forget to follow me on Twitch and subscribe to me on YouTube. Cause we got some more Among Us gameplay to be played. You heard? Heard me? We got some more Among Us gameplay to be heard. You heard me? So you know what it is. You can see the controller. Alpha, 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 alpha. Ooh, it's a tie. So I'm actually gonna skip the voting since it's a tie. So no one was voting. One imposter remains still, bro. I did all my tasks. No, I did not. Where is specimen room? Laboratory core temperature. Where is that? I did all my tasks. Oh, it was alpha. What did I tell you it was alpha? What did I tell you it was alpha? What did I tell you it was alpha? What did I tell you? Bro, if we lose, I'm about to crash out. Where? Coral. It's purple. It's purple. It's purple. It's purple. 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 It's purple. No. It's purple, bruh. It's purple. It's purple. It's purple. They purple. It's 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 purple. For real. He was an O2. He did not. This Among Us game is crazy, bruh. Oh my gosh. I was waiting for us to shift back. What are you talking about? They're voting alpha, bro. We're gonna lose. They're voting alpha. Look what they did, bro. They're stupid. Oh my gosh. No, alpha. Oh my god! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. You know what time it is. We about to run that fade. We about to run that fade. We about to run that fade. About to run that fade. Yes, I know. Oh, I'm gonna check. This guy's toast. Oh, it's that guy. Okay. I could care less who he is, like, bruh. I'm just playing Among Us with people. Let me get imposter! No! 3! What? Oh my gosh. And we're on the, oh, so I only need to do 2 tasks. Electrical and shields. So I need to go straight to electrical. The major kill spot, bro. Bro. And then I need to go to shields. Where's shields at? I'm trying to find out where shields is. Is shields like over? But who died? No! Help me, who was it? Who was it? Who was it? Help, please help. Who was it? Bro, I helped you. It's Alpha! I'm calling Alpha. Alpha. I'm a crewmate, trust. I got you! I got you! I got you. Alright, but hit that follow button and then go subscribe because I owe you. Yeah, you owe me one. I got you. Hey! We got Alpha out. Get out. Alpha was the imposter. Get out. Thank you, bro. Alright, I'm gonna go finish my tasks, but I don't know where Shields is though. So I'm gonna figure out. Oh, this is Shields. No, this is the reactor. That's security. Why are you following me? Oh, okay. Find out where Shields is. Okay, you got it. Yeah. I'm gonna go kill. I'm not even an imposter, so. What? Is this Shields or is no? That's admin. I gotta find the Shields. Where is Shields? Oh my god! 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 It's blue! 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 Oh my god! It's blue, bruh! It's blue! 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 Come on, please! No, bro! Why would you do that? You're stupid! Oh my god, gang! You are dumb! Oh my gosh, bro. Where's Shields at? Okay, that's O2. This is navigation. So where's Shields at? Oh, this is Shields. Okay, yeah, I finished my tasks. Are you following me, gang? Oh, okay, yeah, you got it. Move out the way. So if there's anything I can help with, cause I've already finished my tasks, bro. So I'm just walking around. No! No! It's not me! It's not me! I call blue, bruh. It's not me. It's not me. It's not me. Trust. It's not me, bro. It is not me. Bro, if y'all vote for me, y'all gonna ruin. Oh my god. Okay. Who voted for me? Bro, I'm gonna find out who this imposter is, bro. So I'm just gonna be walking around the entire building. Walking around. Walk around. Walk around. Walk around. Walk around. Walking 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 around. Whoa, whoa, whoa! 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 Yes. I swear, if you... Bruh! I left! I left! I left! Yes! It's not me! It's not me! It's not me! It's not me! Shields and what's the other one? What's the other one? What's the other one? What's the other one? It's not me! It's not me! It's not me! It's not me! Oh my god! Ah! It's not me! What I tell y'all, there are imposters on the loose, and it's not me, but y'all voted me anyways. It was not me. What are y'all talking about? See, this is why I'm playing Among Us no more. This is why I'm playing Among Us no more. Cause y'all got me crashing out, bro. On everything, y'all got me crashing out. I told you. I told you. My bad. I told you, bro. I told you, but y'all listen. Bro, it's pink. I'm about to crash out, bro. It's pink, bro. It's pink. Oh my god. What did I tell y'all? Oh my god, bro. What did I tell y'all? I told y'all it wasn't me. I told y'all it wasn't me. Why you want to kick me so much? Oh my gosh, bro. I can't do with this, bro. Am I an imposter? Okay. I'm a crewmate. That's all I want to be. Is a crewmate. So I need to go to admin, upper end, and navigation. Is this navigate? No, that's weapons. Navigation, yes. So I need to do this task. I need to go here. I need to go here. I was doing tasks. Motor. I was in navigation. Purple, why you defending? For real! Who to vote? I sabotaged and killed. That's really sus. I think I'm gonna vote purple, bro.
I'll see when I get back.
Wait, I'll come on. Give me a second. I think this. If we get an imposter out, I'm gonna leave. If it's not an imposter, then I'm ending. Huh? Alright, no one got voted, so I'm gonna leave, bro. Thank you for watching this other stream. I appreciate it, and I will get everything else back to y'all.